Good evening. Welcome. This is the Manchester United agenda. This is the Manchester United Villarreal Champions League group stage preview. Good evening, good evening, good evening. To my right, we have this way. To my right, we have
OMONDI Juma. How you doing, Mr. P? You forget my name already? we live together. What are you on about? We're neighbours.
SHAH, just below. Good evening. And as always, the guy with the smiley face that nobody ever sees.
Listen, Mr. B, man, I do a high-profile job that must be kept secret, bro.
Listen, we know your first name's James and your second name's Bond. It's all right, man. It's all right,
oh my god, that's so ironic. I'll tell you guys later why you just said that. Wow.
Gents, we've got a big game tomorrow.
Yes,
we've got a really big game tomorrow. Do we call is it a revenge mission? Are they now an enemy? What's our take on this on Monday? What's your overriding thoughts about the game tomorrow?
So you said revenge? I said no revenge on my part. I mean, if it was a Champions League final, it's different. Well done. I think we should learn from it and say to ourselves, we got to go out there and try to break them down. That's the real mission. So I don't want to repeat. I just want us to play a lot better and create more chances against this well-drilled, well-oiled yellow submarine or whatever they call themselves. They're a good outfit, as we experienced last few months ago. So I'm not getting into this revenge thing. I just think the players need to validate themselves. And really, it's not about that anymore. It's about this group stage. We lost our first game. It's about now we want to get through and we want to sort of stamp our mark in this group. And by getting a good result tomorrow at home against Villarreal, the team that actually beat us on penalties, you know, I think it's really important. I think a lot of, like we discussed yesterday, there's a lot of pressure on Man United, on the management team, on the players as well to deliver. And this is where we can finally, I think we can step up and actually make a change because we've never beaten Villarreal. What do you think, SHAH?
I think it's an important game. 100% agree with you. There's no two ways about it. For not just because of the competition, I think just for team morale, for fan, you know, for everyone. We all need a win. We all need this to be a big win. Personally, obviously the revenge element is going to get spoken about regardless, not through any of us, but. That's, you know, we should have won that game 100,000,000%. We all know that they shouldn't have been lifting that trophy up. We should have won that. But on the day the result was given, you know, we can't do anything about it. So from my point of view, it's a fresh season. It's a new start. We've got lots of new additions. I'm excited to see what happens tomorrow. You know, for me, I think personally, we need to at least score 2-3 goals. You know, I was looking at the table today and the goal differences are just one goal. There's only 1 point, and Young Boys the only team with the 3 points. So Ollie has got a valid point about only winning like those 3 games. Like, you know, that's key number, isn't it? 9. So
talk.
Yes. I think obviously the revenge side of things. I think it's more a case of proving a point. And if they're going to prove a point to anybody, it's going to be proving a point to themselves and to the fans. for me, this is the big deal. That we talk about pressure on Ollie, but listen, let's not be mistaken here. The team themselves are under pressure from themselves individually to perform better. You're at the biggest club in the world, and you're not performing. You got to. Eyes start staring at certain players. Everybody's looking at each other and asking questions. What's going on? So the guys are from Ollie right through the team. They're under pressure from themselves more than anybody, in my opinion. Like we maybe discussing about the board pressure and blah blah blah. There is an element of that, but I do believe it's mainly from themselves, to be honest with you. So I think going into this game, I'm thinking that I'm hoping as well that Ollie's going to pick the lineup that we're all wanting to see. And just be. I'm going to go down to Monday's tact here and just talk about. I want to see us, control the game. I want to see us control the game. Yeah, control the game, dominate that midfield, and set the tempo. I mean, they're not really going to sort of come out. We'll talk about their team shortly, but they're not going to really come out at us. I don't think they're going to be, brave enough to come and do that against us. Not at all. So it's going to be, let's break them down, Joey, isn't it? Really. But we all know we've got enough to do that, in my opinion, and everybody else's.
I mean, look, earlier on today, I listened to the Ollie's press conference, and he's going to play McFred tomorrow. He made a statement about them having the energy and the appetite to run. So we're going to have them playing tomorrow. He also put in the word about trusting them. So I don't know if that's a dig at maybe certain players, or it's a way of getting a tune out of certain players. I don't know. But he didn't sound too confident in his press conference, to be really, really honest. I wasn't overly confident with his words. He was talking about learning from last season, playing with a greater tempo, playing the Manchester United way. But we've heard this before, so I'm very, very, very skeptical about how he's going to set the team up and what he wants them to do tomorrow.
For me, it's not just playing the Man United way. The Man United way is not to play with two holding midfielders, and have them both like that, like defensive minded, and not being able to sort of, we talked about like Scotty Mack, his abilities. We know about Fred. We know what Fred brings to the game. But Scott McTominay, he's the one who's going to be the one who goes forward with the ball. But he's a great powerhouse. He's a great runner with the ball. He runs and drives. But if he has to try and slow the ball up and do something skillful to get away from a player to make a pass, he can't. That's not his game. We know that.
He's like Darren Fletcher, isn't he? Like
yeah. So and I hope this is a red herring. I really do. And Alex just sort of playing playing mind games here, because if we see it, surely he's going to have learned from the last game at home.
You know what it is for me as well. I think there's a few factors we have to take into account. Harry Maguire, Luke Shaw, and Wan-Bissaka won't be playing. Wan-Bissaka obviously could have got sent off last game. This could be vital for two players, in my opinion. For Telles, if he's fit, and for Dalot. It's an opportunity for them to come on, perform, and give us something extra that we haven't really had, that balance of two fullbacks going up and down, and whipping in crosses and playing in dangerous balls into the area for Ronaldo, hopefully, to score. So I'm interested to see if they can step up tomorrow and really deliver. That's Dalot and Telles, because we're really short in that position. If Telles isn't fit, who are we going to play left back instead of because Dalot would be the option. He played left back the other day. So I just really want to see how we set up. And obviously Lindelof as well has got to come in. And as with the final last year, or the last few games of last season, Maguire was out. We asked Lindelof to come in and step up. And I personally think he failed to deliver as a leader, really step up and prove himself. That goal that we conceded against Villarreal in the final, when the ball was played in from a free kick, I think Lindelof was a bit at fault. I think Harry Maguire would have easily kind of headed that away. So I'm really not being negative, but I'm being positive. I want to see our two attacking fullbacks get into the game and give us something that we haven't really had, that balance this season of two fullbacks that can get raid and overlap and give us something going forward. All
right, well, Omondi, now you've drifted onto team selection. you are convinced that Dalot, obviously we do know Shaw, you're convinced that Dalot and Tellez will be first choice left back and right back for tomorrow, yeah?
Like I said, I'm only speculating because Brandon Williams has gone on loan. I can't think of anyone else who's in the 25-man squad for the European Champions League who would be suitable to play in that position, but Dalot and Tellez. I don't know what you think, Shah, but there's the only two I can see filling in.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I don't think there is anyone else that we can call upon at the moment. I think the squads that you mentioned. Well, I suppose you might. I don't know. You might mess around with Lindelof and put him at right back. Sure.
Don't say that.
But no, but obviously that is a travelling defenders. Well, we got Varane obviously as well that's going to be there next to him. So you might see that option. It might change to a 5 at some point and have 5.
Oh, don't say that.
Oh, don't.
You might see it. What I'm trying to say, he won't. I don't think he'll start with a 5, but I think he might, if he needs to, he can introduce that.
Yeah, but go on, Mr. B. I was going to say he done it against Young Boys. He done it against Red Bull. It didn't work out. We just invite pressure.
I know that, but I'm just saying that's what might be in the back of his mind with what the squad that he's
still in the back of your mind. Go on, what do you know?
Thank you.
What do you know, sir?
Sorry, I'm not putting it out there. I'm just saying that's an option, isn't it, for him to do because he's done it. Is my point.
No. So for me, listen, it's team.
I like controversy. Sorry.
Yeah, you certainly do.
I think we can all agree the team. It's going to be De Gea, Diego Dalot, Rafael Varane, Lindelof, Tellez, Scotty, Fred, Bruno, Greenwood, Ronaldo, and Pogba. That's going to be the team.
I think that Sancho could get a game tomorrow.
Yeah.
But just because it's the tempo of the game is slower, and because of how Greenwood played the last game, where he just didn't want to be passing to anybody, I would like to think that Ollie's had a word, and the rest of his teammates have had a word, and that Sancho starts.
I got one to throw at you in that point. Sancho on the right, Greenwood gets punished for his mistakes and his attitude on the other day, like not in a bad way, but just how he'll get left out. Maybe Sancho on the right, Cavani in the middle, and Ronaldo on the left.
What?
You're Shah. What have you done with the real Shah? Where is he? Where's the real Shah? Is he in the back of the booth?
What? No, but my point is, what are our best options at the moment? Like for
Shaw,
certainly not those ones.
You got Martial. Martial at the moment is not on form, right? Yeah. Rashford's injured. Is my point. So my point is, I'm just going from what we've got available, and the players that I think are going to sit along that front three. If I personally think that Greenwood that day. Honestly, I think he upset Ronaldo. Ronaldo's probably had the word Wally. Doesn't leave him out, son. Put me in that position.
You want Ronaldo to do donkey work on the left wing?
Thank you.
I don't want him to do that, but I'm just saying this is Ollie.
No, Shaw. Look, no, Shaw. Come on now. I don't care what you. Yeah, that just makes no sense to me. There's no way he's going to play Ronaldo as a right winger.
Look, I'm prepared. I know Shah's straining for some explaining, but talk MU. Can you give us some sort of insight in what you think? Because you read out a little bit of the sides, and I thought I was more on the same page as you there.
Yeah,
what's your thinking behind
that? Listen, you got to put yourself in Ollie's position right here, right now, in his tenure as Manchester United manager. There is no way he is going to start playing games and start taking risks in this game tomorrow, because it's a massive game for him personally and for the squad. That team there that I said is what is going to be probably the mainstay if he's going to try and win as a trophy this season. So he's got to go with it. Mason Greenwood made some mistakes. We know that he was, I called him Greedwood on that day, you know. So, but he'll have learned from that. He would have been told. He will understand. You know what I mean? So that for me is not going to be an issue.
I pray.
I just think
that's the way it's gone.
Well, I think so. Just because, like I say, it's the tried and tested. It's the oil is in that motor, as I say right now, and that motor's ticking over. All right, it's been sort of misfiring, but it's ticking over. You don't want to start pulling it apart, putting new parts in, and hoping that it's going to run smoothly. Because if it goes south on Ollie, where's he going to be then? He's going to look really, really like he's going to put himself in a bad position, and I don't think he's going to do that. So I think that scene is a definite. It's a definite for me.
They say never trust a mechanic, and the way you're talking, TalkMU, I'm not so sure, because this is what I'm saying. I'm quite confident. I'm going with Mr. B. I like your side, but I'm also going to go with Mr. B, saying Sancho should play, because I think we need to break them down. Yeah. Sancho gives you a little bit more in his position, with his style of football, the way he sort of he's very creative. He can get his foot on the ball. He can bring in other players. He plays it short into feet, that kind of thing. And I think he's going to be a perfect addition to our squad. What we didn't have against Villarreal last season, to really try and break them down and keep knocking at the door like that. So I would really like to see Sancho in there. But this is the thing: who do you bring in? Does Greenwood get dropped? And I think Greenwood would be sacrificed because he's the youngest. But Sancho for me, with your team there, TalkMU, somehow bringing Sancho in, so Pogba and Sancho, maybe Greenwood gets dropped to the bench. But the main thing is for me, like what Mr. B said, talking about Ollie's interview, he said key about energy. These two centre midfielders will bring you energy and all that kind of thing. I don't want to hear that. Because they do that. These are things you're supposed to do, work hard and do all things. I want to see their positional sense being on point against Villarreal, because Villarreal will break and sting you with one pass or one set piece or one clever bit of play. And that's why I want to have numbers behind the ball. So if they do break, they're hitting that wall and not saying energy guys running back to get in position. That's as we discussed the other day. So it's very interesting to set up here. Because I think if you're Villarreal and you've already got a point on the board and you go into Old Trafford now, you've got an opportunity here to get a good position in the group by getting a draw, and you've never lost to Man United. So you can set up like Aston Villa did, like Southampton did. There's the benchmark of how to set up against Man United, and they are masters, in my opinion, at the way they play. I don't know, Shah, you're the stat man. I don't know if you can sort of give us an idea of their results this season, but they're very difficult to beat.
Yeah, so what I was, I did have a look, and the last few results haven't been the greatest for them. They drew, lost 1-0, I think it was, or drew to Real Madrid. They won 4-1. Yeah, drew 0-0. They've had another draw before that. They haven't really been on firing form from what I've read.
They've also drew with Atalanta, didn't they? 2-2.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
So they're scoring goals. Listen, they can score it. They can break out. This is where the confidence built from that team from Emery is he's confident that they can they're good enough to check our attacking shape, and then be able to read that where the runs need to be and where the passes need to be placed in order to put us under the maximum amount of pressure, to have us flapping and panicking. That's what he does. That's what he's good at. So, like you say, Omondi, we need the players to be there in front. We always want to see them. Don't ever see the ball behind them. If they've got the back to the goal and the ball's behind them, we're in real trouble. Simple as that. So we don't want to see that.
They're actually missing their striker as well.
Moreno.
And the other one who was a bit of a problem for us was Coquelin as well. So he's suspended. So
he's an ex-Arsenal player, is he?
Yeah.
I'm not impressed. I don't really think he's much of a threat, that guy. Yeah, fair enough. But the Moreno, didn't he score in the final against us? And he was sort of one of the top goal scorers.
And he nailed his penalty as well.
Okay, yeah, and he's one of the top goal scorers in Spain last season. So he's a threat. If he's missing, that'd be a great advantage for us, for sure.
The thing sorry, go on, Mr. B. Go on.
Yeah, so I was just going to say, you're saying this as advantage. We've lost 3 defenders. they've lost one striker. Is
The
the
balance.
advantage?
Yeah, all things balance out in the end. So yeah, about, when I was saying, like, going back to what I was saying, I really being positive about it. The defenders coming in, we got a good squad, like TalkMU always says. We got a good squad this season, and now we've got to utilize that squad and get the most out of them. And I want these players to perform so it gets the crowd up. The crowd, there's a lot of bit of negativity around Old Trafford at the moment with the results that we've had of late, losing, you know. And so the last thing we need is a boring 0-0, 1-1 sort of result at Old Trafford tomorrow. We need to be having attacking fullbacks, going for it, get the crowd going, and open them up. Because if we score early, they will have to open up eventually, and that's where we can sort of exploit them. But if it's tight, we're going to start having panic stations right at the end of the game, and it could be heartbreaking stuff for us. So I think the fullbacks are key. I'll repeat this. I'm going to go and get a snippet of what I'm saying right now. The fullbacks are key tomorrow for breaking them down, for getting overlaps and getting beyond them against this tight unit called Villarreal.
And
Can I?
Go on, Mr. B, sorry.
No. It was just a question I was going to ask you guys. I'll let you finish.
I was going to say they're also coming from some nice sunny weather to our cold weather and snap that we're going to have tomorrow night. So there's going to be about a 10-degree temperature drop for these guys. So that'll be interesting for them to face. And also, just one other point that I was going to make was about Pau Torres as well. We were linked with him over the transfer window. So it'll be interesting to see what he turns out like when he comes back.
Well, we did watch him during the Euros, and we watched him most of the last season because we always linked to him. Left-footed player, not the strongest, doesn't seem the strongest, but good on the ball, technical. Could have been like an Arsenal player, like a left-footed Ben White, you know, that sort of player. But it's interesting to see how, because he was supposed to go to Real Madrid or one of his bigger teams this season, but he didn't get moved on at all. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he gets on. He didn't really play. He wasn't even first team for Spain in the majority of their games in the Euros as well. So maybe he's not as good as he was scouted to be.
Sorry, Mr. B.
No, it was fine. I was going to say, do you think there is any chance that he could drop Paul Pogba tomorrow? I'm more thinking about the position that he currently has Paul Pogba playing in.
What, maybe play Lingard? What about Lingard? We forgot about Jesse.
Well, I was more thinking that a more direct player, because I'm thinking if we break, we need to be direct, and I'm not sure Pogba is going to be direct enough. I'm just asking. It's just something that popped into my head a little bit earlier on. I just wanted to know what you thought about it, Omondi.
Yeah, I'll be very quick on this one. I think he will play Pogba. He has to play Pogba in this sort of game because against a Spanish team, very technical, very tactical. I think Pogba can beat these players one-on-one. He can get the ball, receive it in tight areas. He won't be losing it. This is the issue I've got with playing against Villarreal. We can't be losing the ball in sort of attacking areas like that, because they will break, and it might be minutes before you see the ball again, the way they play. You know, so I think with Pogba on the pitch, he will be a threat. He will draw two players towards him at all times because of his ability to pop it off and play that key pass. If he gets a yard, he can look up. He's got such great vision. I think he's a very important player. And like as we saw against Leeds, he can drift infield as well and receive the ball and be equally as dangerous. So, and what I would like to see tomorrow with what we didn't see with Shaw and Pogba is Telles overlapping Pogba and Pogba feeding him, because that's what I think Pogba's there for. I wouldn't call him a winger. I just see him as an attacking inverted midfielder sort of thing, in that position where he does a bit of everything. He can drift in, stay out wide, pick up the ball, play in the overlap, but he's not going to be driving at players like in a Rashford mode, obviously.
He did that against the West Ham game, you know. I thought he'd done that a lot better. He was attacking, taking shots outside the box, Tellers, you know, which was nice to see from a left back, you know, taking shots regardless, but, you know, having the confidence and the football ability to be able to go and hit a ball like that. And he did lever the balls, to be fair.
I just to add to that, I think there was a game I think he played in the centre midfield. Maybe it was against Newcastle this season, where Pogba played centre mid. You were covering all the live games, weren't you? I'm sure and he was dictating the play. He had the ball, had so many touches in the middle of the park, and we were comfortable when he had the ball. They couldn't get near him because he'd pop it off round the corner, play his long pass, You know, this is from the midfield where he can look up and see everything in front of him. And I think that's where he's most effective. But obviously, he can also do a job, as we've seen, on the left for us. But this is where I'm saying at some point, it's going to become a crunch time where we have to fit Jadon Sancho in. Rashford's coming back. Where's Pogba going to end up playing eventually? And in the next few games of the next couple of months, are we going to see Pogba holding Rashford's position? Or could you say Jadon Sancho's position on the left? Or are we going to see him to command a position in the centre midfield? This is the real issue here.
Yeah.
Good point.
Interesting.
Good point.
That's, but I mean, what I want to say is about with Villarreal is, of course, they're gonna try and keep us out. However, they're not just gonna do that for 90 minutes. They are gonna pick their moments to like I say, because they'll read our shape, they read your game. They will pick their moments as a team, and once somebody commits to go forward to start pressing the ball when we're not in a good shape, that's what they're gonna do, and they'll put numbers forward quickly. And if we don't get control of that midfield, we can find ourselves in that position of, chasing shadows and having to drop back to defend. We could quite easily see that with them because, that's something right. They can push the ball about good. They're no slouches on the ball. So again, for me, it's this. This is the conundrum though that Ollie's got. Is this midfield conundrum? The whole picture around is all there, but it's just that there's a hole in the middle, as we know. Called it Donut FC. So, it's but for me, I think long term, Pogba needs to be central because he's just so good at holding the ball up, the passing. He's strong. So tomorrow, do I see him not playing? No, he's got to play. He's got to play. He's playing tomorrow, definitely.
Is that unanimous?
Is
that unanimous?
Yeah.
I was going to say, you know what I'd like to see tomorrow? I know Matic is Matic, but Matic is or Donny. I'd just love to see Pogba and Donny in that two instead of Fred. 100%. If Ollie does that tomorrow, I think he'll make a lot of our dreams come true.
Shah, high five. I'm totally with you. That I would love to see that option of players in there. Pogba, Donny, Popper, Matic. I would much prefer that. But obviously, we're not in the training ground. Ollie's got his desired setup, and it doesn't seem to be those two guys. But this is a perfect game to play it against a team you need to break down. I'd rather play two creative midfielders than two runners, which he said in his press conference.
I mean, I would personally pick Matic to sit Donny van de Beek, Pogba, Bruno.
Yeah.
We're
never going to see that. We'll never see that.
No, but again, this is the reason why we won't see it. It's just simply because this is not the time for Ollie now to start taking. Had we slapped young boys, took all the points we could have in the league, we're in a great position, maybe it was time to say, you know what? Yeah, we can take a risk here. You know what I mean? But that's not it, right. Those options are going to be there on the bench because we can have 5 subs coming up.
Yeah.
So we can have 5 subs tomorrow. And if for me, the bench, it's going to be Sancho, Martial, Lingard, probably Matic, and Cavani. There's going to be a lot of players like that he's going to be able to call upon if because he's got to continue to give these boys a chance to put the problem right. There's no point in keep like changing it up every time there's a bit of a problem. You've got to give them time to sort of fix it and see what they're doing wrong and put it right. And I want to. Are you all confident about tomorrow?
I'm just going to say this. I'm going to say yes, I'm confident because we have to do it. We have to do it. So if we don't win, it's a win-win for us because there's going to have to be some change. The fans and everyone will demand it. Change for the better. If we do win, then we continue going on and try to improve what we got. So yes, I'm confident we will get the result.
I'm not.
Oh, Mr. B.
So yeah, I'll be honest. I'm not. I am worried about Lindelof. I'm worried about the whole of that central midfield. And I'm worried that they're not going to feed Cristiano Ronaldo. If we get the ball forward to him early, it's going to be a joyful. It's going to be a good game to watch. If we are playing side, giving the ball away, it's going to be a painful watch, just like the final. I'm not going to say we're going to lose. I would never say that, but I think it'd be interesting, like OMONDI said, to see if they've learned. It's very recent. They only played them the other day in footballing terms. So it's going to be really interesting to see if Ollie and the club have learned, because Henry's already does his homework, because that's what he does. So yeah, it's interesting. I said it's more interesting to see what sort of thing he does in regards to tempo wise, the things that we sit down here and talk about. We talk about. I said the press conference today. Yeah, the press conference today was so interesting. He was saying all of these things, but I think he was just talking faff. I really, really do. I just want to see it in the flesh tomorrow.
Yeah. Listen, with Villarreal, right? There's one thing that they're not going to want, and that is for the game to be played at a slow pace, because they're going to come there. They're going to be pumped up. They're going to be like, right, as soon as we get this chance now, bang, we're on it. They're going to be pumped up, ready for that break, to try and get away and get a goal. So if we slow the game down, that's really going to hurt them, in my opinion. Because they're going to have to hold their shape. They ain't gonna. If we slow the game down and keep the ball in front of them, passing it about and saying, well, if you want the ball, you're gonna have to come out and get it.
No, but they won't have to, because they don't have to win the game.
Well, no,
yeah, they don't have to.
But even so, they're still not gonna. They're not just gonna sit there continually. And say,
why?
You just no. You won't do that. They won't do that. Trust me.
I think that if we play a slow game, it suits them. I think we have to play fast and ping the ball around in the final third to really sort of stretch them. And this is what I'm saying, the fullbacks. So keep coming back to the fullbacks coming into play. Unlike when Wan-Bissaka's playing. If you're set up, if you're good evening, their manager, you're going to say, okay, this is how they set up. Let's set up like we did against Villa. As soon as the ball goes into midfield, then we can press them and hopefully get an attack and then attack their centre backs or their back four. But with the fullbacks, Dalot and Teles to deal with, hopefully we can stretch them wide and pop it about. And then when we do get into those tight, high up the pitch final third areas where we've got the good ball players like Bruno, Sancho, Greenwood, Pogba on the ball, we can pop it off, zip it off fast, and get crosses in for Ronaldo in the and Bruno maybe running in late in the box. But that's really important. I think we need to get crosses in, use the fullback, stretch the pitch, and play a fast game, fast tempo, and make sure that the 12th man, the crowd, are on side. Because Amy went to the game the other day and she was saying there's a bad feeling with the fans at the moment. There's a bit of a unrest because they're not happy with the performances and the results. But I think if the crowd are on our side, a European night, knowing we have to win, if they really get on it, I think that can really decide how we play, the tempo we play, and the positivity in how we play the game.
Yeah, but they've only got a point, though, haven't they? They've only got a point, haven't they, Villarreal?
Yeah, but they played one of the better teams, not young boys.
Yeah. But they still have to win the game if they've got any serious ambitions going to get through this.
Not really, no. Not really. They're playing away from home. If they get a point away at Old Trafford, that's a good result for them going forward. Because next they play young boys twice.
I just think
we need the points.
I just think if we do this play like that, but like I say, we'll see how that Ollie gets them playing, how he wants them to approach the game, and then we'll see when the game kicks off out straight away from the movement off. When the ball gets kicked, we'll know exactly what's going to be happening. So, but in terms of confidence for me, listen, I'll take my Man United sunglasses off, and then I'll see the real picture. Again, I'm with Mr. B. I ain't 100% confident just because we know there's problem in the midfield. We know the inability to, put the ball in the right place. You know what I mean? That's the thing here. You're getting bothered. You put the ball in the right places. You don't run into danger. We seem to always run into danger, get the ball away. you know, and that's a big concern for me. And I just want to see us. That's why I would like to see us do what I've just said. You know, if I was Ollie right now, this is what I'd be telling them. I'd be saying, no, listen, you go out there, you get that ball, you take the piss in the midfield there. Just pass the ball out in front of them and just sit there passing it. And let them make
he says that while he's selecting Freddie McTominay.
Let them make their decision. Yeah, but let them make their decision then.
Their decision will be to give the ball away, and then we'll be tracking back on the counter. I don't know. I'm being funny, but I just don't think these guys have got the ability to do that. I'd be more confident, as Shah said earlier, with like a Pogba, Van der Beek, to play in front of them if you want to play the slow game like that. But there's a lot of good comments coming in.
Take them away. Take them away.
Yeah, okay. So this is Solo's hairdresser. Says it's a great show on earth and bigging us all up. We've got Andy Herbert in the house, our usual Arsenal resident. Congratulations on a great result the other day for Arsenal. Are they back? Yeah, it was interesting to see. We've got our big man, the boss man in the house. He's saying good evening, gentlemen. Big up. Evening. You spelled that wrong, Solo. Apparently, Andy said PSG are winning 1-0. All right, now this is the man I wanted to get to because I've seen this man before chat on Man United, and he knows his stuff. It's the tall 6'8" giant from America. It's Yank talking smack. First name, please, Rise again.
Connor.
Yes, how you doing, Connor? Connor says we need to win this. Nothing to do with Ollie. We just need to win this just so United can get back on track. Totally. Let's start a winning streak now instead of January like last year. Do you see Sancho, Ronaldo, Greenwood front line up tomorrow? Have we answered that?
I would love that. I would love that.
That's what it'll be.
Yeah, well, we would go and ahhing about that, but yeah, that means Pogba going back to midfield, so I would like that too. Andy Herbert says, play Fred and Lindelof, you'll be okay, Mr. B.
Yeah, I believe.
Oh my gosh, Roger Hunt's passed away, is he? Oh God, they're all yes. Yeah, there's Jimmy Greaves now, Roger Hunt. Okay. Pogba has to play, says Solo, but where does he play, Solo? Here we go. Connor again says, in the end, Rashi coming back, Pogba needs to start in midfield. His ability to control the ball, to spray it forward to our speed just up front is crucial. Crucial. Squeaky bum time. So Andy's saying maybe the pressure's on United. Maybe it is. We were talking about that yesterday on our show. Go and check that out. Connor again says, as much as I want to say this with definite win, having Maguire, Shaw, and Wan-Bissaka at home against the Spanish team scares me. Solo says we need to win this, but he's with Mr. B saying it could be a 1-1 draw. We've never beaten Villarreal. Talk, show us your sunglasses, mate. Rich Sport says hi to everyone. Hi, Rich, how you doing? And again, he's saying R.I.P. Oh yeah, Andy Herbert. Is that he's talking about Roger Hunt? Is it? Yeah. R.I.P. Yeah. City hanging on. Oh my gosh. Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. B. Over to you.
Come on, listen. You remember the final? What was you saying before the final? We were talking about. Look, we're gonna play it down that left hand side, and we're gonna do that. You know, the little triangle passing between Pogba. Who was it? Pogba, Bruno, and Rashford. I think it was. And we was all agreeing on that was what was going to happen. We said, we'll get outnumbered. They'll get in our faces and make it difficult for us there. And then we need to switch the play quickly. Remember? Then we kicked off. We're watching what happened. They did exactly that. But then what our problem was shifting the ball from that side back into the midfield safely and then pushing it for Greenwood. But we weren't doing it. Do you remember? So if we go into this game again tomorrow with a similar setup, with just two different left and right backs, I see us run into the same problems. They're going to get problems, and this is why I'm convinced that we are actually going to say to them, we're going to play a more measured approach game. We're going to pass it about. We're going to wait. We're going to be patient. We're going to pass. We're going to move. We're going to slowly work it up. We're going to wait for opportunities because Cristiano Ronaldo, if he's stuck on a line of what's going to be probably five defenders, thinking, well, wait a minute, where do I go here? Where do I get the ball? He's not just going to stay there thinking, right, I've just got to be the tallest skittle here to try and get up and get something. If it does come through the air, that is, he's going to have to. We may well find Cristiano Ronaldo having to drop a little bit deeper to try and come out for the ball because. If they play like that as I'm expecting, how does the ball get into the box? unless it
This is
goes.
the this is what I'm saying. It's about this is the problem we had to get in the final, playing between the lines. They play so compact and they can shuffle over. Because if we're playing slow, they can do that all day, shuffle over, compact. It's hard to play through them. We struggled because this is why I'm saying I want Bruno to play 10 yards deeper so he can come and receive the ball. This all started from the Villarreal final when I started saying, no, this is wrong. Bruno's position is all wrong because we can't reach him when we come up against European level teams like Villarreal, where they play. You can't play between the lines like that because they're so compact and intelligent. They know this is how they play their ball. So I agree with you, TalkMU. We need to sort of decide how we're going to do it, and this is why I'm saying we need a faster play in the final third to open them up, as we didn't in the final, for example. Like you're saying with the triangles and that kind of thing, it needs to be quicker to be more decisive. And also, just something really funny here. But earlier on, Rich Sports, he said, "R.I.P. to Anthony Herbert." He said no. He didn't mean Anthony Herbert. He meant Hunt, yes, not Andy Herbert. So sorry, Andy Herbert. And can we just quickly read out Connor's lineup? So Connor wants Dalot, Veron. I'm doing a solo now. Varane, Lindelof, Telles, Matic and Pogba. So Matic and Pogba in midfield. Bruno, Sancho on the left, Ronaldo up front, and Greenwood on the right. That's a more than decent lineup. I like that one. I don't know about you guys. Hi, T.
If he plays, sorry, go on. Finish. Say what you have to say. Listen, that's a beautiful team.
Yeah.
Can you imagine every week if we went out and that's what he had the confidence to put out? Bruv, we would give teams licks. They wouldn't even know where the pain was going to be coming from.
Yeah, 100% agree. That is
Connor for manager.
Yeah, that is the
squad. So go on.
Yeah, big up Stephen as well, by the way. What I don't get is, right, listen, it's a simple thing that I'm going to point out here, is Ollie, he's in a position of whatever he does right now, right, he's gonna end up losing his job, whatever. Because if he continues doing what he's doing and not trusting the team and going into a better attacking play, right, especially at home, then we keep dropping points and getting bad results, then at some point he's going to lose his job. We all know that. So why doesn't he go out fighting and go, you know what, I'm going to hide into nothing here, because go all out. I don't understand.
Yeah,
I don't understand it. I can't for the life of me understand why he's not.
There's no easy way out. There's no shortcut home, as Rocky and AJ came out to. Score predictions. Can I go with mine? Because you know what?
Yes, please.
All right.
Yeah.
It's got to be the 1-0, the typical 1-0. Yeah, I always gonna say.
I've never heard you say 1-0.
There you go. I'm going 1-0 because I think that's the kind of result that you get against Villarreal if you have a good win. Not many teams. What did Real Madrid beat them the other day? Or was it a draw? Someone beat them.
0-0.
Oh, well, there you go. Even Real Madrid couldn't beat them. So 1-0 will be a good result. So 1-0 Man United.
Talk.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 2-0. I'm gonna say 2-0 because I think we're gonna play a more measured. I think we're gonna play a more measured game, a bit more patient. We're gonna cause them problems in terms of giving them something to think about rather than giving them what they expect, which is us trying to get down the sides, and they're going to go, no, blocking you out, sorry. Cristiano Ronaldo up front on your own, now we deal with you, double up on him, that seems stuffed. You know what I mean? They know the midfield's a bit of a mismatch at the moment, unbalanced. So I think, I'm going to go 2-0. We'll cause them problems. They'll make a mistake. They'll take advantage of it and bang. End of.
Sure.
I think without Moreno, I genuinely think like he's had a bit of dip in form as well himself. But I think without them, I think we've got a better chance. I think it will be a 2-1. I'm going to go 2-1.
Me? I want. I know what I want. I want them to get 3 men sent off in the first 5 minutes, and then it's just a walk in the park. I want an easy game. I don't want no pressure or nothing. Talk. You're doing the watch along tomorrow, yeah?
Yes, certainly. Me recently.
Okay. So yeah, I'll be. I'll have that running in the background. But me personally, 2-1. I go 2-1. I'm convinced we're going to concede.
Mm.
Do you know what? See, am I allowed to say 1-1?
You'll be the odd man out going for a draw.
Well,
I just don't have.
It wouldn't be the first
I'll be
time we
honest.
went for a draw tonight, but yeah.
Yeah.
but what's so funny? But yeah, if you want to go for a draw, I mean, Solo mentioned it earlier that he thinks that he said,
1-1,
I'm with Mr.
yeah.
B. I think it'd be 1-1.
I think it's going to be a draw. I have that feeling in my gut that it's going to be a draw tomorrow. Whether it's 0-0 or 1-1, I think it's going to be a draw tomorrow.
That's wrapped it up then, guys. I think it's pressure. Pressure breeds confidence sometimes, or it can make you put your head down and be negative. I think the crowd's going to be important. The fullbacks, again, I'm saying it 3-4 times this show. The fullbacks, the crowd, the pressure turned into like a good performance. And I want a 1-0 and the crowd to be back on side because we've been really disappointed in this late.
Yeah, we
That
have.
is one real amazing point as well, because it is the first time that the fans will be back for a European game as well. So,
Yeah, okay.
so you
Good
know,
shout, Shah. Good shout.
Good shout.
I think hopefully we'll be. The stadium's going to be rammed, and you know we're going to hear a big noise. Personally, so I think with a bit of energy, bit of everyone dusting themselves off after the last couple of games. We're going to go in, and I think Ollie knows he's got to get a bigger result than a goal. Definitely difference, personally.
All right, Shah. Thanks for closing the show.
So,
Gentlemen, as always, pleasure.
Thank you.
yeah.
Don't let us down. Don't let us down. Don't let us down. With that, we're good.